This is what the inside of our travel trailer looks like when all of the slides are brought in, so when we're driving. And what I love is that if we stop to get gas, I can easily go inside and nurse the baby right on my bed. After leaving home, our first stop was to visit family near St. Louis, Missouri. And then we went on to Kansas City, Missouri to visit friends, and we stayed at a Harvest Host. So what Harvest Host is, it's a membership. You pay a 1-year fee, and then you actually have access to all of the Boondockers Welcome locations and Harvest Host locations. And typically these are businesses such as farms, vineyards, golf courses, and you get to stay on their property for free, and the expectation is that you'll support them and buy something from their shop. This location was called Jewell Properties, and you had to drive about 10 minutes to get to their restaurant. And then we purchased charcuterie to share as a family, and it was delicious. It was a very beautiful location and extremely peaceful, very quiet. We didn't see anyone else while we were out there. We enjoyed the time visiting our friends. The kids had so much fun playing with friends, and then we went to church with them. Then after Kansas City, we headed off to the Badlands, South Dakota, and we decided to stop at Dakota Campground in Mitchell, South Dakota on our way there for a 1-night rest. We kind of decided as a family that we don't want to really drive much more than 3 to 4 hours on a drive day, because it can be a lot on the kids and it can be a lot on us, and it's just a lot of driving when you're traveling for a year. So if we have any trips that are longer than about 5 hours, we typically plan in a 1 or 2 night rest stop. And so we chose this Dakota Campground. This is actually day 6 of us living full-time in our RV. So we had a lot of kinks to work out here. We had some electrical problems to figure out. And thankfully we have found so many nice people wherever we've stayed that are always willing to come and help. Lots of RV experts staying in campgrounds. And so we found a really nice person that helped us out here. And this campground had a fun playground right by our RV. It had a really fun pool.
What do you think? You want to go in?
Also on this stop, we realized we forgot to pack toys for our 1-year-old Daniel, so we stopped at Walmart.
Look at who we found.
Oh, Dad will give you presents.
All these kids in the toy aisle.
We have a couple options for Daniel.
What? Daniel's first toy.
So look, he seems to really like
Dan,
this one,
what do you think?
But this is the classic. And it's
And then 1 week into our trip, we made it to the Badlands, South Dakota, and we stayed at Buffalo Gap National Grasslands Dispersed Camping. I think this is one of the most popular boondocking places in America to stay because it is so beautiful, as you can see, and it's free. It's public land that you can stay there. It's just a few minutes outside of the gate to the Badlands. And what made me so nervous about being here, I will say, is that so many people were parked right on the rim, like as close as they could get to the edge. There were people in tents, and it was very, very windy at night. Like our entire camper was shaking. I can't imagine what that felt like in a tent. I guess that's the fun of it all. You get to soak in the beauty, I guess, when you're right on the rim. But for us with 5 kids, it just made me really nervous. And so we parked our camper on the other side of the road so that we were looking on one side at a beautiful big grassland meadow, and the other side you could see the rim and the big basin. When you get there, you just drive around until you find a spot that you like, and then you park there. And a lot of people got to know their neighbors, and they walked around just getting to know people. Everyone is super friendly that we've met so far while camping. As a side note, I do want to say I wasn't actually driving this fast. I just sped up the video, but you'll see shortly the place that we found for our camper and our truck nestled into the grassland side. And what was also really cool about this day is that we had family come and visit us. So the kids got to play with their cousins, and they got to go on a hike with them down into the rim, and they got to see their aunt and their uncle, and it was just a really fun time. We have loved listening to the Guide Along app. As we visit each national park, we just get to learn so much about the park without having to do a ton of research beforehand.
Whose representatives would often steal the reservation supplies. In the year 1890, Spotted Elk decided that life on the reservation was no longer a solution, and he led his people south to join Red Cloud on the Pine Ridge Reservation in order to participate in the new ghost dance religion. Pursued by the U.S. 7th Cavalry, ill with pneumonia and disheartened by the destruction of the Sioux way of life following the arrival of American settlers, Spotted Elk's journey was a bitter affair. On December 24th, he reached the Badlands in order to
Not only was I very nervous while boondocking at the Buffalo Gap Grasslands, but I also was very nervous while inside the Badlands because there were a lot of really beautiful places to see that had very high drop-offs. And maybe that's just life as a mom, but I was nervous a lot of the time while we were here. When you have 5 kids, you don't have enough hands for them all, and so I just felt on edge, but we still enjoyed it, and it was really beautiful. And you'll see a little bit later on, there were some really kid-friendly hikes that we could go on.
The bus is not working, Dad.
No, I know. Stop. It's okay. Just shake your legs.
Okay, what is it with hiking backpacks or sleep sacks, baby pajamas? Is my husband the only one that does this kind of thing to their babies?
I don't know, guys. Show Dad.
He's not sure about that. We found these bird nests that we thought were so cool, and after looking online, we found out that they are cliff swallow nests. And these nests are made by the birds taking one piece of mud at a time and building these nests. We thought that it was really neat to watch the birds fly in and out of them. Overall, Badlands was one of our kids' favorite national parks because there were just so many places for them to explore, and we definitely hope to return one day.